A very good Saturday morning to everyone out there in the listening audience. James Poovey alongside my broadcast partner, Vince Salicio. It's time for another edition of the JV Sports Show. So glad you joined us here today on 1060 AM KDUS Tempe, Phoenix. Vince, how are you doing this morning, my friend?
Music to my ears. I so look forward to Saturday mornings that I mean I get up and it's like, man, when are we going to do the show? When are we going to do the show? And it's more than just a show for me. I feel like we're bringing friends together, and even though it's we get some call-ins and things, and it's us, but we've got such a strong supporting cast, and it just I really look forward to today, and I hope you do too, and to all of our friends and partners out there, thank you for listening.
Yes, definitely. I echo those sentiments as well, Vince. Thanks to our partners. We couldn't do it without you. We appreciate you, and you're honestly the reason why we're able to stay on the air. So thank you for your support. And we got another big show coming up today. We're going to talk to a couple high school football coaches, Coach Chris Seymour from Vista Grande High School and Coach Scott Harris from Canyon View. We're going to talk to them a little bit in the second segment this morning. And then after the bottom of the hour, it's going to be Rick Lewis we're going to visit with. He's
How
the
did
color
you
analyst.
land this guy?
I tell you, Vince, it's the grace of God. I reached out to him. He's a super nice guy, and he goes, "I would love to." He goes, "How about I call into your show sometime?" And I said,
Yeah.
"That would be great. How about next Saturday?" And he goes, "Let's do it." So he's going to come on with us. I wanted to talk to. I mean, I could talk to him for a long, long time. Obviously, just about the Broncos, but it's going to be a great time. So he's going to come on and talk to us a little bit about, give us a little perspective from the broadcasting booth. And then the final segment this morning, where I'll visit with Mayor Skip Hall from the city of Surprise.
Yeah, old friend of the program.
And then another old friend of the program, Coach Nesbitt.
Yeah, Coach Nesbitt and Skip Hall, they're practically joined at the hip. Obviously Ottawa University of Arizona, they're good friends, and Ottawa has such a strong presence in the town of Surprise, and the campus is located a stone's throw right next door to Town Hall and Surprise Town Hall, and so they've had an incredible partnership, and the fact that Coach Nesbitt, Mr. Hall, Skip Hall, they're such good friends. It's just a natural fit to have them both on together for a little bit there in the final segment. But I'm really looking forward to it and getting to our JV high school spotlight. The AIA's been in the news, obviously, the last month, and with the schools, people not knowing, okay, when am I sending my child back to school? James, you have 3 kids. I have 3 kids. And, and we've got this thing called Thursday night football that we've been kind of, it's been very fluid, kind of on the run trying to figure out when we're going to actually start, when things are going to be scheduled. And the 2 guys that are coming on today, Coach Chris Seymour of Vista Grande High School out in the West Valley, Coach Scott Harris, Canyon View High School out in the West Valley. This is Canyon View's first year playing high school football. What a year to start, man. Can you believe that?
It'd have to be a rough start over there, but he's got to have those guys ready to go regardless of the situation, because let's face it, everybody's in the same boat right now, Vince, and they've had very limited activity in spring, and then summer has been obviously scaled down. They can't quite do a lot of the stuff, and then when you talk about football, they call it a contact sport. It's really a collision sport. You've got to get some of those reps in as far as that hitting and tackling, or it's going to be quite a show during that first game of the season if you don't get some of that stuff done in the off season.
Yeah, and actually, and I believe these 2 teams were set to debut on Thursday Night Football September 3rd, I think. Well, obviously that's changed because now the AIA states for what's first week of the season is the week of September 30th, which would put the first game October 1st, which according to our schedule is Arcadia High School at Combs High School out in the East Valley. We don't know if the schedules are going to remain the same, but we're just trying to do what we can to keep our commitment to these schools. And what's going to end up happening? Schools keep an open mind, because aside from Thursday night, we may end up doing some additional Saturday night games as well. So once you have your schedules, please reach out to us if we haven't contacted you first, and let's see about getting these games scheduled and get going.
Yeah, we should be able to get a few of those rescheduled. Obviously, you mentioned the first game as of right now is going to be Thursday night, October 1st, Arcadia at Combs. That's a 4A matchup. And the good news is, Vince, no matter when we get started, we're going to lead it off with Thursday night football. We're going to kick off the high school football season. So it's going to be well worth it. I hope you guys are excited as we are, and it's going to be great. Let's get some of those earlier games rescheduled. As we mentioned, we have some Saturday availability with Hohokam Junior College Athletic Conference pushing their season back. OUAZ and the NAIA has pushed their football season back a little bit. So everything's kind of fluid right now, but we're going to do the best we can and make it a great football season regardless.
Big news this week, James. There was a little election here in the primary. Now,
congratulations, my friend.
You know what? I am so, someone once told me, because people are very passionate, very opinionated, and they always talk about these taboo subjects, never talk about religion or politics. Well, I like to talk a little politics from time to time, and I was complaining a while back, and somebody said, you know what? Put your money where your mouth is, and why don't you try and get out there, make a difference, and run for something, whether it be, I don't live in an HOA, but if you run for an HOA board, run for, a school board, run for something. And so I got involved and just got reelected to the Carefree Town Council.
You're an incumbent now, Vince.
I am an incumbent. I'm so excited. And, and it's fun. I mean, it's such a nice community. And, and growing up in Phoenix, I love Phoenix. Grew up in Phoenix, love all of metropolitan Phoenix, all of the communities around Phoenix, Tempe, Scottsdale, Mesa, Gilbert, you name it. And Carefree is just an extension of that. And it's a great little community. I view it's the best small town in Arizona to me, hands down. It's a community of about 3,600 people, and to garner enough votes to stay in office. There's a lot of things that you always talk about change. I'm going to make change. We've got a lot of things going really well here that we're going to continue to build on, and some things some initiatives that I really am excited to be a part of, and it's just a great community. And I encourage you, James, when your kids get a little older and you've got a little more time on your hands, you need to get involved, because it's more than just what you have in the bank account. It's the legacy you leave behind, and it can't be, not enough can be said about serving your community in whatever capacity it is, driving the school bus, being a crossing guard, helping out at church, whatever it is, which you do. You play in the church band.
I do indeed, and unfortunately, that's been kind of shelved for a little while with the coronavirus. I haven't gotten to play at church since middle of, or just right before the middle of March was the last time. So I'm jonesing to play like you can't even imagine. And I'm also going to get that Van Halen tribute band going here in Metro Phoenix, because we need one of those. And there's not one here in Phoenix. So I've already got a bass player, and now we got to find. I possibly found an Eddie already. He lives in Oklahoma City right now. His name is Joshua Jones. Okay. He's a phenomenal guitar player. And then we got to find a Diamond Dave, or do we find a Sammy? I know what you would say, Vince.
That is Sammy. But you need anybody to.
We got to find a guy that can do both, which is going to be the big challenge.
I could play the triangle or the cymbal.
All right.
Something, the maracas. I don't know. Give me something kind of in the background, so I could, just be up there.
That'll be great. Yeah, so looking forward to that. So it's going to be a great show today, and hope everyone has had a great week. We're excited to get the high school football season going. As of right now, Vince, I think the first possible game we might be doing would be that OUAZ and ACU game over there at Cactus High School.
Yeah, and that's the college football season has been something else that's been very fluid also. NAU just yesterday announced that they are delaying their season start to the spring, and they're following the guidance of the Big Sky Conference. So they're not going to play this fall. They were set, they had a kickoff at Arizona State on September 3rd, which, obviously has changed because ASU's not kicking off their season until the end of September. So stay tuned with college football. We may see a few more changes before all is said and done. But I look at it this way, you're taking the safest precautions necessary. You got players in college football that are bowing out of the season. So, you're not putting your best on the field. And so the teams and the schools have no choice but to delay their seasons.
Well, it's going to be an interesting season all the way around. I mean, from high school to college, all the way into the pros. I mean, there's going to be instances of coronavirus. You can't help that. I mean, the NBA has done a fantastic job down there in the bubble in Orlando. I don't think they've had a positive case since maybe a week or so after they all arrived or something just astounding like that. So they've proved that if you take the right precautions and you're really careful about things, that you can control the spread, as they say. And let's hope that we continue to keep those numbers going downward so we can continue on the right path to get this football season coming, get it underway, and then we can look forward to some basketball after that, because now we're going to be into the spot where the fall sports are going to start pushing into the winter season, which has already, I heard, been pushed back a little bit as well.
Well, yes, and that's the other thing, is that is particularly at the high school level, you have coaches that not only coach football, that coach track, that coach, wrestling, that coach baseball. And how is that going to affect those other sports if you're pushing football into the spring? And ultimately, you're either not going to have the coaches that are coaching those other sports because they're committed to their primary sport. In this case, if it would be football, whatever. So you've got that issue, and the kids having to choose. What do I choose? Am I gonna run track, or am I gonna play football? Am I gonna play baseball, or am I gonna play basketball? I mean, so it's a tough issue. It really is. And aside from pushing everything back and ultimately, I guess perhaps baseball running into next summer, that's an option. I mean,
there's a great possibility that we'll have maybe a couple of sports run into midsummer or maybe even late summer next year, just depending on how the rest of the school year shakes out. But I think everybody's doing the best they can to control the situation, at least at their local level, whether it be a high school or at their local college. And that's all we can do right now. I mean, people are going to get positive tests, and the biggest thing is, they have to have a plan for when that happens. And what do we do if one person gets, has to be quarantined, and then we have to do the contract tracing and so forth. I don't know if you've seen, but the NFL, a lot of clubs, they're wearing the wristbands that'll tell you, hey, if you're too close to another person, or if someone does get positive tests, they can go back immediately and say, hey, you were in contact with XYZ person, and we can notify them right away and whatever. So anyway.
Yep. Thanks again for joining us, folks. Stick around, and we got some great stuff coming up. Join on our JV High School Spotlight coming up. Chris Seymour, Vista Grande, Scott Harris, Canyon View High Schools in the West Valley. Thank you for joining us here on the JV Sports Show. Be right back.
Stay tuned. All right, I'm going to let the coaches in. You ready?
Ready. Great.
Thank you, Aaron.
Aaron, did you say you have Scott Harris too?
Here's Lin Sue.
We need. Okay,
excellent.
Great. All right.
They are both connecting right now to audio. There's Coach Harris. How are you, sir?
Good. How about yourself?
Good.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. Okay, so James, how do we instruct them on how to do the audio here?
The best way to do this, guys, is for you to simply usually just connect on the phone, and you can usually don't even do speakerphone. Just leave it normal connection on the phone once you get it connected, and then you can just if you're on a handheld line like that, you'll need to just make sure. Yeah, you might want to just go ahead and hold the receiver right there, just because that's where the audio for the radio is going to come in.
And turn down the audio on the computer.
And you could leave the audio up on the computer so you can hear. So you can hear us. Whatever's easier. If it's better for you, you're going to want to turn one of them down, whichever one works best.
Yeah, but make sure both your mics are on, the computer mic as well as the phone mic.
Yes, I think you guys are good.
Awesome.
Appreciate you guys joining us this morning.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
So, we'll get into talking about it, but want to ask you about your schedules and what you know right now. There's a lot of unknowns still. We'll talk a little bit about history. Coach Harris, not much history right now in terms of your program. It's your first year, but we'll
first year varsity.
Yeah. And I mean, we do a lot on the seat of our pants here, so it's good stuff.
We're very informal, guys. So we just like to have a good time, talk a little football, and I hope everybody's staying safe over there where you guys are so we can get this season going.
Yeah,
absolutely.
No doubt.
How have the kids responded to everything, having to, kind of adjust and kind of stay apart, and, no more bro hugs and all, it's different. It's a different world right now. You can't do some of the stuff you used to do.
Yeah, no question. I mean, we have to remind our kids all the time, it's good to get excited and celebrate and all that, but at the same time, don't touch each other.
Just don't spit on each other.
Yeah. I mean?
No.
And it's hard, with teenagers, it's hard.
Do you have a lot of guys going with the face shields this year that maybe wouldn't have before? Or?
Yeah, we try to get as many of them as we can, some of our kids have trouble getting them and all that, but the ones that we can get into face mask, we will.
Welcome back to the JV Sports Show, ladies and gentlemen. James and Vince here, Vince and James with the JV High School Spotlight, where we feature a couple of the great schools here in the Valley. This week, of course, not to disappoint, we have with us Vista Grande High School head football coach Chris Seymour and Canyon View High School head football coach Scott Harris. Coaches, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you guys doing? So, what's going on?
Well, we're just just trying to do the best we can do, I guess. We have a timeline now, which is great, and all that. So we have something to work towards now, and we're just trying to prepare for the season as best we can.
Coach Seymour, if you could just speak into your phone a little bit more, make sure that's accessible so we can hear you. There you go. You can come through a little bit clearer. Thank you, sir.
No problem.
I want to ask now, obviously with the high school season changing and going back to, the week of September 30th, October 1st, how is that affecting your game schedules? The game schedules have been condensed, but is it still the original schedule or is that changing? Coach, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks. As of right now, I'm not really sure. My whole goal is to get my players prepared to play their first varsity year. So whatever they tell us to schedule, that's what we're going to go with.
Now, how many games do you guys think you'll be able to reschedule as far as because I understand it's going to be an 8-game season. So judging by the current schedule layout, as far as the start date of October the 2nd officially from the AIA, that would give us 6 games. And then obviously you're looking to reschedule 2 games, or do you think you'll be able to get, I understood that there might be a possibility to get one more game in, after the playoffs start if you're not a playoff team or something to that effect?
You know what? I really don't know. I hate saying I don't know, but I really don't. I've heard that we're going to play 8 games. My goal is to just get as many games as we can for these kids.
Okay, Coach Seymour. So you're the veteran among the two here. You've ran your program the last couple of years here at Vista Grande. What are you expecting in terms of at least from what you see now with the kids that you have? What kind of a season potentially are you looking at?
Well, we're in the same boat. We're going to prepare for an 8-game schedule, and whatever schedule we end up getting, I think a lot of that is going to depend on the 3As, because I know that a lot of 4A schools were made to schedule 3A schools in their regular season schedule. Yeah. So I think that's going to go a long way towards how the schedule is going to wind up. And how the rescheduling will go. But we're going to prepare for 8 games, just like, and it would be the same if we were playing 10. We're going to go about it, and whoever we play week 1 is who we're going to play, and we're going to prepare the best we can. And, we're only trying to control the things that we can. And right now that's our preparation and how we work in the weight room and and what we do, in our individual field work. So that's what we're focusing on, because that's what we can control.
Coaches, do you think you might have a little bit of an advantage this year, maybe because you honestly do have a little bit more time to prepare going forward from the summer season? Obviously, you got cut short in the spring. You really didn't have any sort of spring football of any sort. But now you have a little bit more time to kind of ease into the pads and ease into full contact drills and tackling drills and so forth. Talk about that a little bit, and if you think that might be an advantage.
Yeah, I think that's really an advantage for maybe like the lower levels, as far as getting them going and getting them acclimated. But as far as varsity, we just want to go. We just want to start the season and go.
So you guys are ready to go full contact right now?
No, as far as AIA, we can't. But I mean, mentally, I think my kids are ready.
I'm talking about the attitude of the team. Yes. Yeah, I know they're got to be chomping at the bit.
If I told them we're going to play tomorrow, I think they'd be ready to go. I don't know if they'd be physically and mentally ready, but they'd be ready to go. Great group of kids.
Yeah. So a little added drama here. So Coach Harris, you just got the job. I mean, we're talking very recently, and it's your first year playing high school football, and you were just hired to be the head football coach. I mean, talk to us a little bit about the pressure and the preparation and the unknowns and the uncertainty I mean, lay it out there. Tell us what it's been like.
So this is actually, this is going to be our first year of varsity. So we've had this is our school's third year. So they had the freshman program, and then last year they played JVA. So these kids, for the core of the kids, have been together for, this is going to be our third, their third year. As far as me, you know what, I have like an unbelievable coaching staff from freshman level to my assistants. So they're amazing and they're supporting me. So I'm just ready to go and see what we can do in our first year of varsity.
Coach Seymour, who are some of the assistants you have over there that help things run for you guys over there at Vista Grande?
Yeah, we've kind of had a core group together, my 3 years there, and with Coach Ferguson, he runs our freshman program and all that, and he does a tremendous job. And we got a continuity. Our offense and defensive line coaches have been there for 3 years, and we are bringing in a new defensive coordinator this year. But he's a great addition to our staff. He's a younger guy, brings a lot of great energy, and just a new voice and an attacking philosophy, which is something that we've kind of been missing on the defensive side. But we haven't had a lot of turnover in our staff, and the guys we do have, are great guys. They're hard workers and they're really good with kids. We may not have the number of coaches that a lot of the big schools have in the Valley, but the guys we do have are workers, and they work really hard and they do a tremendous job.
Coach Harris, you guys were set to host Vista Grande on Thursday night, September 3rd, right here on Thursday night football game of the week here with JV Sports Show. Now that we don't know if that's still going to happen, if it's going to be rescheduled, that particular game, but assuming, Coach, you've been watching some film, right?
Yes.
All right. Okay. If you were going to kick off tomorrow with hosting Vista Grande, how would you beat Coach Seymour's team?
So the one thing, after talking to some coaches and they're very well coached team. They got some really good threats on the outside. The goal would be not to let them get the ball to their playmakers.
Yeah. Coach Seymour, you obviously get the easy way out here because these guys haven't played on Friday night yet, so you don't know what to expect. But from what you know of Coach Harris and his staff, I mean, what type of team would you expect them to field?
Well, we're going to expect a well-coached, disciplined ball club that's going to, they're going to execute, and they're going to try to do things correctly, and they're going to block and tackle, and they're going to play the game the right way. So, we have to be prepared. We would have to be prepared to execute at a very high level to be successful, and not turn the ball over and take the ball away on defense. And and the biggest thing for us on defense, we'd have to tackle. We have to tackle and get people on the ground, and we got to block them up on offense, and we got to spread the ball around and get our guys the ball in space and let them do their thing. But we would go in expecting to see a well-disciplined ball club and a team that's well coached and is fundamentally sound.
Coaches, how do you feel that the AIA has handled the recent developments with the pandemic and having meetings and trying to do the best things for the kids? And how have they handled that as far as communicating with you guys and keeping you in the loop as far as what's going on? I think they've done a pretty good job myself.
Yeah, nobody from the AIA listens to our show, and athletic directors don't either. So you can talk about leadership as much as you want here. Go for it. Well,
I think they've kind of made the best of a bad situation, really. I think at the end of the day, when they announced the new scheduling for us opening up, I think it was the right call. I think it gives everyone, gets everyone kind of on the same playing field. I know with some schools in the West Valley and Tucson, they still haven't started. So I think it kind of gives everyone time. I know for us, we went 4 months without seeing our kids, and it kind of gives us a semblance of an off season and lets us, get back on track a little bit in terms of having an off season and going into a regular season. And, I think they kind of got it right, and that allows everyone to come back safely, and gives kids the opportunity, which I think is kind of what we all want, is just to give them the opportunity to go compete and do what they love to do. So, I think at the end of the day, it was a tough situation. I don't envy those guys at all in the decisions they had to make. But I think they got it right.
Coach Harris, a little bit about your assistants. You talked about the fact that, you know, you've got a great group of guys there. But you guys all support each other. Any particular ones that you wish to call out that are making this thing move?
So I mean, he's our offensive coordinator, Coach Aaron Upshur. He's been coaching for 20 plus years. And then we got a group of young guys on our staff too. I call them the Killer T's, Coach T, Coach Terry, Coach Trey. And he's our defensive coordinator this year. So they're both ready to go. Coach Up is my right-hand man, and he's been helping through this transition.
Coach Scott Harris and Coach Chris Seymour, Coach Seymour from Vista Grande High School and Coach Harris from Canyon View. We appreciate you guys joining us so much here this morning, and we look forward to hopefully getting that game in some night, if it be a Thursday or a Saturday or Monday night or whatever we need to do. Hopefully we can get that game in, and we're definitely looking forward to it.
Awesome. Thank you, coaches, so much. You guys have a great weekend and a great rest of your week. Our fingers are crossed.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you.
Appreciate you,
Appreciate it.
gentlemen. Have a great weekend.
You too.
Okay.
Well, stay tuned here on the JV Sports Show. We got a little bit more coming your way, another half hour to go. And when we come back, we'll be joined by color analyst for the Denver Broncos, Rick Lewis. He just celebrated his 30th year in broadcasting, Vince. He also does a morning show for 20 plus years on 103.5 The Fox in Denver, and also does double duty, goes over to 850 KOA and does an afternoon show with Dave Logan, who's the play-by-play voice of the Denver Broncos as well. So we'll talk with Rick Lewis when we come back. And in the last segment this morning, we'll be visiting with Mayor Skip Hall from Surprise, Arizona, and Coach Mike Nesbitt of the OUAZ Spirit.
Old friends of the program. Thank you again for joining us here on the JV Sports Show. Stick around. We'll be right back. Go JV.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
Good show, Vince.
Yeah, we're doing all right.
Little Alice in Chains there. I like that. We should do Alice in Chains one day.
You know what? That's a good idea.
I don't know if Rick is going to be able to join us on video or not, but that if not, that's okay. Maybe we'll get lucky. I'm going to, let's see. Love it.
Great.
Oh, excellent.
All right, so you folks at home, we may not have Rick Lewis with us, so go up, have some breakfast, and come back in a few
Or get on 1060.
Or get on 1060.
Get on the radio. That's it.
Yes.
Let's see here.
I don't know. Post the link. I don't know. You and your six screens. In
Here we
front
go.
of you.
Yeah, right. Feels like that. Let's see. Let me try something here. Now, what are you seeing?
I see his face at a mic.
See Rick's picture? Okay,
Yeah.
excellent. So then how do I stop? Escape? Yep. Okay. If I have to do that, I'll do that.
All right.
I'll try not to talk Broncos too much.
No. Hey, this is you. This is all you. I'm gonna sit back and I don't know.
No, you got to chime in too, man.
I know. I just don't. I don't know what. I haven't been up to date on what they're doing in the off season. So.
Oh, we're going to talk about broadcasting too. More probably about broadcasting than.
Perfect.
The main thing I wanted to talk to him about was how important it is now for us as broadcasters to really paint a picture for the audience, since there's going to be no one in the audience in the stands this year, whether it be football, probably into basketball season. And so just how that translates, and then just talk to them a little bit about that stuff. And then give me a prediction on the season. I need to know the time. And if you and Dave are ever not feeling well one week, me and Vince can be there in 12 and a half hours to call the Bronco game. No problem.
I don't know. Has the NFL even released their schedule yet? I don't think so.
I don't. I think they have. Yeah. Let's see.
Oh, did they? Here we go. This is quickly becoming my favorite intro after the
Thursday,
song.
September 10th, Texans at Chiefs.
Oh.
Welcome back to the JV Sports Show. A beautiful Saturday morning here in the Valley of the Sun. Vince, this is a little bit cooler out this morning than it's been in about a week or so, I'd say.
We got to teach Kevin how to say my last name, for gosh sakes.
Yes, we will. We definitely have to do that. We definitely have to do that. Welcome back, everybody, to the JV Sports Show. So glad you joined us here this morning. We are pleased to be joined now by the color analyst, among other talents, for the Denver Broncos, Mr. Rick Lewis. Rick, how are you this morning, sir? Hey, we appreciate that, Rick, and we're just aspiring to be as talented and as have as much longevity as you have in the business. 30 plus years in broadcasting. Can you tell us a little bit how you got started? When did you know that you wanted to get behind a microphone?
Oh. What kind of station was it? I mean, was it music? Was it all talk? What was it, Rick? Okay. Wow.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Have you always straddled the line, Rick, between the sports broadcasting and more of a radio host or into the music DJ vein of things?
Wow. Yeah. So, Rick, I got to ask you. So you're in the eye of the hurricane of the biggest sports league in the world, and on the biggest stage in one of the probably the most successful organizations, sports organizations in the NFL. I mean, what is that like going to work every day? Wow.
Rick, what is it like to work with a legendary broadcaster like Dave Logan? Obviously, you said you've been with the Broncos for a couple of years now. I believe you started with them in 2016. What have you learned from working with someone like Dave?
Yeah.
Christian. Yeah, I'm sure. Oh, oh.
Timing.
Oh. But you were going to be prepped, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Wow.
Rick, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it. I could talk with you all day, especially about the Broncos, and we haven't even got to the drumming or any of that yet. So we're going to have you come back and come on the show again. I can't wait to get together with you and talk some shop as far as music goes and broadcasting. We really appreciate you coming on with us. Stay safe. We'll talk to you very soon, and always look forward to hearing you on the Broncos Radio Network, my friend.
That's me. There you go. Hey, I'm your councilman. Yeah. I just got reelected. Wow. Awesome. Along with Dick Stockton. Yeah. Thanks, Rick. We'll have you back. Go JV. We'll be
Appreciate you, Rick. Everybody stay tuned. One more segment to go. JV Sports Show. We'll be right back.
Yes, please. Thanks. And hopefully Skip logs in.
Wow, that was great.
Oh yeah, and Dick Stockton lives here. I forgot to tell you that. He's got
really?
a house here and in Florida. He's been in Florida throughout the pandemic, but he and his wife have a house here.
So did Rick say he's in Carefree? He's here all the time, he said.
Yeah, yeah.
Great.
He's got a house here, he said.
Sweet.
Yeah. So.
Outstanding, man. That's one thing about having a radio guy on. They just go. Just go.
Yeah.
It's great. That was fantastic.
Yeah, no, that was great. Nice job, man. Wow. And he's on 6 hours a day, and yet he's giving us 10, 15 minutes.
You know, I knew exactly. I know. And that's every article I've read, just kind of reading up a little bit. He's all over the place, but I was so appreciative of him. They just taking the time for us to come on and talk a little bit. And I can't wait to talk to him some more. So, and geez, he's in your neighborhood. He's in your backyard over there.
Wow. He's been listening to the show. So he must've been on for a while because we didn't talk about, we talked about the election at the beginning of the show. It's not like he just tuned in 30 seconds before he came on. So that was
right.
cool.
Right.
That's awesome. Good guy.
Good stuff.
Yeah. All right.
So I can't wait to ask Mayor Hall how he's doing. He had the coronavirus, right?
Yeah, he did. I'm gonna tease him a little bit about his campaign too, because he ran unopposed. But I'm gonna ask.
Oh, he
him.
did.
Yeah. Hopefully he gets on the link here. I don't. Let me check email and see if he wrote.
Oh, he's on. Here's Coach Nesbitt. Coach Nesbitt's on. Here we go.
Okay, but Mayor Hall though.
Oh yeah, I hope he gets in. There we go.
What's up?
Coach, how are you?
I'm good. Hey, am I supposed to have my phone on too?
Yes, just turn down one of the volumes, probably
Turn
their
down
phone
the
volume.
computer. Well, yeah, it's one of those, computer or phone, because there's a lot of feedback.
How's that? Is that better?
That's definitely better. Thank you,
Yeah.
Coach.
Okay.
Can you hear us okay?
Yeah, I got you fine.
Excellent. Hey, we got to get a practice schedule from you before you go.
October.
October. Get out of here.
No, seriously. Yeah,
You guys aren't even practicing till October?
Yeah, we're running and lifting, and then we're
Yeah.
we're just flipping the schedule. So
Gotcha.
what we would normally do, like we do in March or April, we're just going to do September and October.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the JV Sports Show. And, James, as we talked about at the start of the show, I mean, this past week we had the primary elections out there. A lot of offices, a lot of things were voted on, and one of which there was a tough campaign out in the town of Surprise, that mayoral election. And before we get to him, we wanted to actually introduce an old friend of the program whose school is out in Surprise, Coach Mike Nesbitt. Coach Nesbitt.
Hey, good morning, guys. How's everybody doing today?
Good. How are you, sir?
Oh, fantastic.
So you're here not because of your pretty face, but
well, we know I got a face for radio, so
that's
let's
right.
go with it.
So you happen to be good friends with our next guest, and we thought it would be fitting if you introduced him. So go ahead, sir. The floor is yours.
Oh, well, shoot, there's a lot of things that we've been able to accomplish at our place, and especially in our football program. And if it wasn't for this next guest, the legendary and the one and only Mayor of Surprise, Skip Hall, he's done a bunch for us and comes out there and supports us. He even takes the city councilman out for a walk on Tuesday nights, and they go up into the parking garage and watch us practice. There he is right there.
And there he is right on time.
That's the guy. And so, Skip, from all of everybody at OUAZ, and especially from our football program, we can't tell you thank you enough for your helping hand and everything you guys have done as a city and your department to really get us where we are today. And I know from the bottom of my heart, our kids and our staff and our faculty just want to tell you thanks for everything, because you've been fantastic for us. And I know our football team would not be as good as it is today if it wasn't for people like you being involved with us. So thanks a lot, Mr. Mayor, and congratulations on another win. There you go.
Mr. Mayor, what do you think of Coach Mike Nesbitt?
And guys like Mike Nesbitt are class, and the whole coaching staff over there is great, but Mike is something else. And we're so proud of Ottawa from a city standpoint. We are just so proud of them, and what they've accomplished, going 9-2 last year, amazing.
No pressure, Coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about that broadcasting team? That's pretty good broadcasting.
How
team
about
there.
those
They're
guys?
pretty good. So I don't know if Kevin Steele's listening, but anyway. So Mayor Hall, I do have to ask you now. Being the primary election season, you had a real tough campaign. Tell us a little bit about your opponent. I mean, you barely squeaked in a win. I was in shock. I was amazed that you pulled it off. I thought, man, this guy's got.
It was a landslide, Vince.
Well, I don't know about that. It was a little closer than, when you're looking at that ballot and you're choosing between Skip Hall and
Skip
nobody.
Hall.
I don't know. Talk to us a little bit.
She didn't get that many, but at least she tried. I'm just honored to can't tell you enough. And the kids there are just super kids. So anyway,
Model citizens and led by a model coach.
Top-notch
Mayor-
kids, top-notch
Yeah.
coaches, led by a top-notch administration staff over there at OUAZ, Dr. Tyner. It all starts at the top and everything
Yep.
trickles down. So everything is going well over there. I mentioned I was on campus just about 2 weeks ago now, and the new student facility is amazing. And the kids walk in. I think the kids still light up when they walk in there. They go, "Wow, is this really where I'm going to school? This is
Yeah.
unbelievable."
Yeah. So, Mayor Hall, I do have to ask you. So obviously, you know, you've served as mayor there for quite some time now, and you came back for another go at it. What are some things that you still need to get done in town? And you got a lot of things going well. Obviously, you got a great university right there, you know, as your neighbor, as your partner. But what are some other things going on around Surprise? Yeah.
Oh, wow.
yeah, they're going to start construction next week. That's going to be hundreds of jobs. I mean, they won't commit to how many exactly, but it's going to be hundreds. And so they
Nice job.
Wow. Yeah, you get a strong anchor tenant, and the rest just kind of fills in. So sure. When is Mike Nesbitt Day going to happen? Yeah. Yeah, maybe pick the hottest day of the year so nobody shows up.
Feel the love, coach. Oh, man, Vince.
Yeah, so I got to ask you, Mayor Hall, I have to ask you, all these schools have been saying, you know, look, we're going to delay the start of our season, you know, for the safety of our kids, you know, and so what has been your feeling on all of that throughout the pandemic? I mean, you had the coronavirus. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. purveyor of fine breakfast sausage as well, I think, James, right?
Yeah, I used to listen to off of Sherrill Park over there in Garland. You could right off the farm there, you could hear some stuff there on the back nine.
Mayor Hall, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And in all seriousness, congratulations on your reelection. And I look forward to seeing you at all of the elected official events. I'm allowed back in this year. So, yeah. Coach Nesbitt, thank you so much for joining us, folks. That's the end of another show. James, what do you think?
And don't forget, get your mayonnaise in bulk coming soon to surprise September 24th. So fantastic. All kinds of good stuff going on over there in the West Valley. Thanks everyone for joining us today. We appreciate it. Thanks as well to our guests, our sponsors, Scott Harris from Canyon View High School, Coach Chris Seymour from Vista Grande, Rick Lewis, color analyst for the Denver Broncos, Mayor Skip Hall from Surprise, and Ottawa coach Mike Nesbitt. Thank you guys for joining us this morning. Another great show, Vince. It's been a great one.
Go JV. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks, gentlemen. Wow, that was quick. Okay. Thanks, Aaron. Nice job.
Awesome show, man. Awesome show.
Nice job. Best ever.
Let me stop the stream here.
Yeah. Let me know when we're off.
Okay. Let's see here.
Did you, oh, we're still recording.